going to go through subnetting a network. And this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to kind of take you through here, and we'll go back and forth between the chart and the table here. We have a network address of 192.168.1.0 just for simplicity's sake. So if we look at step 1, it says look at the network address and prefix to determine which class the address is. Use the corresponding chart. So our network starts at 192 and it's a /24. Both of those tell us that it's a class C. Excuse me. 192, that gives us class C, and then /24, this is /24 because that means there are 24 ones in the subnet mask. 8, 8, and 8 added together is 24, so we know we're working with the class C. So we're going to be using this chart right here. Okay. All right, so the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to copy the network address from the top down to the first network address. So down here, I'm going to do 192.168.1.0. Okay, number 3 says using the chart, move the red line to the left of the number of the host +2. Remember, I'm going to need the host +2 because those two are the network address and the broadcast address that I cannot assign to hosts. So for my total address, it's the hosts +2. So the student's network needs 60 +2, so it needs 62 addresses. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to move this red line. And I'm looking here at the number of addresses needed. So I'm going to go from right to left. So I need to accommodate 62 addresses. So I'm going to move it to the left of 64. That means I'm going from here over, I can accommodate, 64 addresses here, right? So my next step, in the green section, put a 1 in any box to the left of the red line and a 0 to any box to the right. So I'm going to go down to the green, put a 1, 1, 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, 0. Okay, number 5, convert the binary in green to decimal in blue to get the subnet mask. So I already have, it's a class C, so the first 3 octets are already done for me. Right, 255, 255, 255. I'm just worried about this last octet. That's why I have that in binary. So I'm going to convert this to binary right here. So I'm going to add up 128 plus 64 is going to give me 192. So I'm going to put this subnet mask right here up here. So 255 at 192. For my prefix, it's just how many ones are there. So I have 8 ones here. I just didn't write it out. That's 255 means that there are 8 ones in that octet, 8 ones in this octet, 8 ones in this octet, right? So 8, 8, 8, that's 24, 25, 26. So it's a /26. Okay. So my major increment, so I'm on 7. My major increment will be the number to the right of the red line on the number addresses line. So the major increment is how many total addresses are in that subnet. So that's what our increment means. We're going to start our next subnet up that many addresses. So my major increment here is 64. I have 64 total addresses in that subnet. I'm not using all of them. I don't need to use all of them, but I have them, because I can't get any less than that and still have enough addresses. So my major increment is 64. Okay, so we're going to get our next subnet mask, or next subnet address. And the reason we're going to do that is to help us fill in the rest of this. So yes, these are blank right now, but the easiest way to get these is to go ahead and increment up to the next one and then kind of work backwards. So what we're going to do is we're going to go to this line, and we're going to look on the binary values line. We're going to look at the number to the left of our red line. Now, for a class C, that's the same number as this. So you might be thinking, well, why do we not just use this one, right? Well, it matters when you get to class B. For example, we have this and this. That's very different. You can't increment up 1,000 addresses or 16,000 addresses. you would be incrementing up 4 in the third octet. You would increment up 4. So that's why we do that here, is to practice for when we go to B and A. So 64, so we're going to go up by 64. So our next subnet is going to start at 64 because we have a 0. We're counting this 0. So 64 addresses up, goes here. The broadcast address, remember, is the last address in the subnet. So the broadcast address is going to be the address that is before this next network address. So it's going to be 63. Okay, and then the range is going to be 1 more than the network address to 1 less than the broadcast address. So it's going to be 192.168.1.1 through 192.168.1.62. Now remember, the first address started on this network address that I was given. We always start at the very beginning. Okay, so now I can go to the next one. So now I need 20 addresses. So I'm going to move this here to accommodate. Now that's 32, but that will accommodate 20 addresses. If I go here, 16 is too few. So I'm going to go here. Let me delete this. Change this to a 1. And 128, that's 192, and that's 224. 224. So I've got 254, and that is going to be 8, 16, 24, 25, 26, 27 slash 27. My major increment is going to be 32. And so I'm going to go up by, in the 4th octet, 1, 2, 3, 4, I'm going to go up by 32 addresses. So 64 plus 32. This one's going to start at 64 plus 32 is 96, right? So my broadcast address is 1 less than that, 95. And my range is going to be 192.168.1.65 through 192.168.1.94. Okay, and then I'm going to do another one here just to help me get this broadcast address. So 10, and this will help me get the other stuff too. So I'm going to go here. So we're adding 1. This makes it 240. 255, 240, and that's going to be a /28 because I have 8 ones, 8 ones, 8 ones. That's 24, 25, 26, 27, 28. Okay, my major increment is going to be 16. So 96 plus 16 is 112, I think. 12. Is that right? Yeah, that's right. Okay, so now I can do my broadcast address, 192.168.1.111, and my this was 16. 192.168.1.97 through 192.168.1.110, and I can get rid of this. So that is my chart. Those are my subnets. That is how you do a Class C. I will do another example for Class B and another example for Class A. Those are going to be longer because there's more addresses, but that is how you do this. This works for all of these.